advancement with tools at her disposal so she could become a media innovator. So please let's welcome Clara with a round of applause. Our second panelist for today is Mr. Michael Balogun. He's the founder and CEO of Xtrm Tours to Nigeria Limited, popularly known as Tour to Nigeria. Inducted into the Tourism 100 Club of Nigeria, Michael was named amongst the top 100 tourism personalities in Nigeria in 2019. Let's welcome him again with a round of applause. And the second woman on the panel is our lovely Nnenna Fakoya-Smith. I'm going to look for something to just say, because everybody knows Nnenna. Nnenna has been recognized as one of the Young Tourism Personalities of the Year and Best Tourism Innovation through Technology for hosting the first ever Tourism Virtual Summit. Welcome, Nnenna. It's such an honor to have you three on this panel today. It's really exciting. The topic, you just be honest. I'm changing, and I hope we all, start to experience what we have around us. I'm going to ask straight questions, and then we'll open it to the floor. The first question I'd like to ask, and I'll ask everyone to, just give very brief answers. What, in your opinion, is the direct impact of COVID on local tourism? What, in your opinion? So let's ask Nnenna first, and then go.
Why didn't you ask the man first now?
Ladies first.
Okay, so for me, I think the direct impact that COVID has done is that it has made us think inwards. It has made us appreciate what we have and to at least use what we have. Normally because, oops, okay, thank you guys, come on. All right, so I was saying that one thing that COVID has done, it has made us realize what we have and to utilize what we have. Before we were like, okay, if I want to travel, I have to go to Dubai, or I have to go to the UK or US. Now we're forced to think inside because one, COVID cost alone, just to do the test, is crazy. I went to Ghana, just Ghana, and I spent 200K to just do COVID tests. Normally, that's 200K. I used to do hotel visits, places. I couldn't even visit because money was not enough. So that alone made you think, okay, what can I do? Where can I go within Nigeria? I have people come in, I want to go to holiday, I want to rest. Where can I go? And because we're building our tourist sites, our places, people are beginning to see, okay, there are places I can visit within our place. So for me, I think it made us think inward and to at least utilize what we have in our own country.
Thank you. But that's interesting because you're seeing it as a positive. Are you saying that there was no negative impact of COVID on tourism?
No, there was. We all know what a negative is. We couldn't move around. We couldn't do what to do, right? Normal. But sometimes you have to be disrupted for you to look at what you have within. So even though COVID did a lot, I lost someone. I've lost like 2 people with COVID. So it had its bad side, but you have to look inward and see what has it done good for us. And for me, I am a shock. I keep screaming about domestic tourism. I've been screaming domestic for 5 years. Michael knows that. So for me, COVID made us think, okay, we have something inside. Since we can't go out, make we use the one we get now. You get. Exactly. So for me, that's why I see it.
Thank you very much, Nnenna. Okay, can we ask the other lady on the panel as well before we go to the gentleman? I hope that's fair. And it's a women's event. All right, okay, Clara, what do you think is the direct impact? Nnenna has said a lot, but also in your, is there anything you'd like to add?
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, once again. I believe it was actually an opportunity to reset the world globally. And there are always 2 fallouts, the positive and the negative. And while we are still here, because quite a lot of people died in the process, it's up to us to know how to transform it into a positive for the world generally. So what I picked out 2 strong things from it was the fact that it gave me the opportunity to understand that technology is the new future. We have to now understand the shift has happened. You're not going back. Now people do remote work. You have what you call the digital nomads, people who can sit in a corner of the world, work, get paid, pay taxes to the country where they're using technology to work. And then secondly, it's now opportunity for countries to realize that tourism, they saw the impact. A lot was lost in economies. The volume of people you have coming into your country daily at the airport tells you that tourism is not just coming into a hotel, sitting down and, strolling. travel, it's a broad spectrum what happens in tourism, but a lot of governments still don't understand it. The limited meaning of tourism to them is someone takes off, goes to a country to sit down. No, there is a whole lot of value chain involved. And I think that's where policy comes in now, because that's what we're talking about before we came in. Governments have to be intentional about putting policies in place, and that's only the time businesses can truly benefit from this sector.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Clara. Okay, so let's go to the gentleman amongst us. All right, so what do you think is the direct impact of COVID on tourism, local tourism?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And still on the protocols here, I would like to say thank you for having me here. Thank you for having our PS, Mrs. Oni here, and the Xtrm president. And I'm using this opportunity to say this for the first time because it's a women hospitality program. I got into tourism when I moved back to Nigeria in 2008. And the only reason I am sitting here as a tour operator is because of this beautiful woman, Mrs. Ime Woodor, our vice president. I started writing about Nigeria on TripAdvisor and on LinkedIn, and she saw some of my work and said, "Are you based in Nigeria?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "It would be nice for you to join." And so I owe a lot of what I am today to that woman over there. And because it is a woman's program, I would like to say 80% of all my own partners in the industry are even women. 80%. So it shows the power of women in this sector. And as regard the COVID issue, I would say for me it was more of a blessing in disguise, because I've been promoting tourism locally for the last 10 years. I don't do Ghana, I don't do Dubai, I only sell Nigeria. So when the COVID came, it was more for me to go to church for a Thanksgiving. So it is now time for people to see why they need to stay in Nigeria instead of traveling abroad. I have done a lot of pitches, I have done a lot of business competition from the Tonelu Melu, name it, on this same domestic tourism. And for Nigerians now to understand the push for domestic tourism says a lot. So I think COVID came at a better time for Nigerians to understand. How many people here know Lakowe? See? And we all live in Lagos, Rufus and Bees, landmarks. But if I tell somebody about Disney or Dubai now, so I think, charity, they say, begins at home. Yeah. So for me, the flip side of the COVID was I lost a friend. I had COVID. I almost died. A lot of people didn't know. Some people did understand what I went through that time. So for me, COVID has changed the narrative. And we'll never have this opportunity again once it's lost. So this is the time. Every stakeholder, everybody passionate about Nigeria needs to come into this game. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that response. I'm going to ask you another question just around that. So you've been doing this over the years, right? And it's obvious that you've been pushing at it, And I'd just like to ask you, what are the major challenges that you've had in promoting tourism in Nigeria? I know that there are some that are like security, this one and that one, but apart from the obvious ones, are there any ones, and how have you been able to navigate through that?
Well, I won't really say security is the biggest issue, because
really, that's interesting.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, if I'm going to have to, what I think about is how safe is the storyline.
It's the narrative.
Wow.
I've been on the road for the last 2 weeks. I've been in Ibadan. Yesterday, I got back from Washington State around 8:30. What I'm going to say is, until we start telling the real stories, the positive stories, this is what people are going to hear.
Yeah.
The first 6 months of this year, you need to check the data with CNN. They had over 100 and something death as per gun crime. They've had issues of theft in South Africa, in Kenya, but you don't see them bringing these issues out on their own platforms. That is why the need for DMOs, destination marketing organization, and brand marketing need to come out to say more positive stuff. If we keep telling people, oh, Nigeria is not safe, go to the airports. There are people coming in every day. We still had Americans here last week. We still have a group of Caribbeans coming in. As of Monday, we have people coming from Dubai. So why do we always keep saying there's the security issues? I really think the greatest problem we have in Nigeria is patriotism. It's patriotism. If every family that has somebody coming for Christmas in Lagos this December can say, okay, I am taking my cousins coming from the village to Landmark, to Nike Art Gallery, to Lekki Conservation. That's generation of revenue for this resorts. But if you say, oh, we are going to Dubai straight, I know some people, they've never been to Lagos, and I bet them in London, or the only time they get to Lagos is when they are traveling. So how do you now say Lagos is not safe, or Nigeria is not safe, when I've been traveling the same roads? I would say the major problem in Lagos or Nigeria is infrastructure, not even the security.
Wow, so like the roads and things like that.
Oh yes, imagine if you have to go to Badagry now. Before it used to be like an hour, 20 minutes tops. But now, the roads are not accessible. And I'm happy Lagos State is here, so. Yes. Yes.
It's a federal.
And that's why we need Lagos State to help us.
Wow.
Because if you look at it now, to go to Badagry now, there's a new resort in Badagry. I'm not taking any brief for anybody. It's called Sailor Harbor. And they have a 2-bedroom there, and to spend a night there is 250,000. Just 2 rooms. So when you look at the cost, how much do they fuel boats from boat to Badagry and back? And then the Jara Beach, as the Eco Access, is a 150,000 naira per night. And then you put the cost together, how much do they make? Some of these people are off the grid. They are generating their light, they're paying staff. And then you think about the cost of getting to that place is even high. Before we get a bus to Ekpe Axis, they take you 45, 50,000. Now they're charging 80,000. We spread the cost on the domestic tour operators. Yes, but for the boat owners, they are complaining of the cost. There's no subsidy in their petrol. And for us at Talk to Nigeria, what our own value started on was to give every low-income family that luxury of traveling within Nigeria. If you can't do Dubai, you can do Landmark. You can do Jara Beach. You can do Lakowe. So the basic thing is, we looked at the structure for families with low income, civil servant, a family of 5. Can they afford to go to Ghana at 200K for COVID? Even that's not even with the tickets. So at the end of the day, we look at more models like going to Omo Beach Resort. Omo Beach, they have packages for 37,000 for a family of 5. You don't have to break a bank. You can go to places under 50K for a family of 5. But the only thing is, people don't know this. And like Steve Jobs have always said, people don't buy what they don't see. So as a tour operator in Lagos, my basic thing I've done is showing people every day where they can go for free, for cheap. Even sometimes, you can just go sightseeing without paying. There's some beach access you can just take a walk without paying. And there's some private ones, there are beach houses. So there's a class for everybody who wants to do leisure in Lagos. There are places that you can pay 1 million naira a night in Lagos as a beach resort, yes, on the island, 1 million a night. And there are places you can pay 500. And then if you want to feel the luxury, you can come to Marriott. It starts in $280 for a night. So everybody has something to gain inside the domestic tourism. We don't have to all go to Dubai. We can keep helping building their economy instead of denying our own. When you talk about resorts in Nigeria not having the standard internationally, then you look at yourself, how much have you spent in this economy? You're going to Dubai, you're thinking of the flight, the COVID test now comes in play, your travel insurance, and the whole work. So why not spend $500,000 in Lagos for 5 days and enjoy your stay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And what I picked from what you said was infrastructure. If we can get that right, that would help and encourage, more people to enjoy local tourism. So I'm going to build on that and ask Clara. So he's talked about being visible, because the truth is some people don't know that these things exist. We just hear, oh, tourism. It's interesting because it's not really peculiar to Nigeria. I mean, I go to the UK sometimes, and people in the UK don't know what is around them. You are the one telling them, oh, there's the London Eye, there's this. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm here to work, go to school, And so I'd like to ask Clara, how do you use branding? Because I know that part of what you do is branding, and also technology to help us, leverage, help us see what we have so that people can start to experience these things.
Hello. I did note some things in a presentation, I had already prepared to give me pointers to some of these things. And to be honest with you, I think it's because we've not really been intentional about tourism in Nigeria, so to say. I mean, because in East African countries, it's basically their own oil. And they are very intentional about their promotions and their branding. You have even other countries. Is it okay?
Yeah.
All right. So you have even other countries being, would I say, taking a niche from East Africa to market safaris to foreigners coming into, to tell you how lucrative that sector is. An American can sit in America, own a tourism company, and his market is Africa, marketing safaris into Kenya, Tanzania, Zanzibar, and the rest of them. So if you don't have a strategy, you don't have a design, you don't have branding at the back of your mind, I think we're still at the primary stage of understanding what this market is all about. First, it has to be distinct, what you stand for, what you represent. I'm very proud of what some young Nigerians are doing. I'm on Instagram with a lot of them. They are actually the purveyors of this domestic tourism we're talking about, because they take their time out to get their friends, get people who really want to go, take them to places like Osun State, the waterfalls there and everything, and they take pictures of it and they put on Instagram. And these are the things the world is looking at, to understand that there are places like this in Nigeria, and that's where it starts from. When any of them are truly known for something, it becomes a brand they are building. And if somebody then gets in touch with them and says, can you organize this stuff for us? It's because they've seen the trajectory of what that person is doing. But they can then take it a notch higher. Now the internet has become a leveler. You're not looking at the big brands only now as the only people building brands. As an individual, a traveler, what you call it now, an influencer, you can become a brand on your own. But what would you be known for? There's this lady I follow on Instagram, Oneka. She's a traveler. She just got an Emmy Award recently because of the travels she does. When you begin to design your own brand to be known for something, the world then follows that pattern you're following and begins to understand if they put money on you, would you as an influencer be able to get them returns, ROI, in terms of what they're investing on you? So in building your brand, most of the major factors you have to take into considerations, I limited them to 3. You first have to understand what you stand for. Are you taking a niche? Like in domestic tourism, is it adventures you're focusing on? Is it ecotourism you're focusing on? Is it leisure you're focusing on? So once you take that, then you take a color that you want to be known for, so that wherever you are and people connect you with that color and see it, they know this is this person exactly that I'm following. And as you begin to build up, consistency finally becomes what will make the breakthrough for you. And that's really the simple attributes of brand building. Your color, consistency, and what people know you for. Yes, if it's ecotourism, adventures, or leisure that you're doing.
Wow. So you're saying, I still have another question. So are you saying that a lot of these tourist destinations, first of all, what do we do about those destinations? Is it that we have to have representatives there? Or is it you tourist guides now, you people that organize these tourist trips for us, that now have to work on this branding? How about those places themselves being
that
visible, you know, and saying we're here, find us, you know, and not necessarily
you
individuals.
have to work as partners. It's collaboration. Yeah, it's partnership, actually, yes. And that's why I did say about government policies. You see, rural tourism is so powerful, but we don't still yet understand it. If we have small Airbnbs managed by families in those locations where you have those waterfalls and everything, that's economic empowerment already. Yeah. And if they're on digital spaces and people know they can book directly and go to, you know, that waterfalls, and there's an Airbnb there waiting for them, and the family manages
have them pick them up, all
exactly.
of that.
So all that falls in place. So it's partnerships and collaborations that can really truly grow the industry.
Technology.
Exactly.
No, I'm asking technology. So how can from what you're saying, you said a lot about Instagram.
Yes.
So that means that the digital space is very important to leverage on. So we're talking Instagram, Facebook, even our bulk SMS messages that we send, WhatsApp, and all of that. So you've said a lot about it, but I just want you to emphasize a bit more how technology can also help, in us leveraging these our local experiences.
Okay, so it's what I've been focusing on for the past 3 years now, and I can assure you it's very massive.
Oh.
Imagine now, 5, 6, 7 years ago, we didn't have Google Maps. You couldn't sit in your hotel in Lagos and say you want to go somewhere, and you are beginning to think of navigating. How am I going to locate that street? Who would I ask? Even the taxi man might not even know where it is. But you're sitting in your hotel, and you go on Waze or Google Map, and you type in your street, and you first of all have an overview of where that place is in Lagos. So you begin to chart your journey. And then we talk about payments, fintech. Now I don't have to carry my cash any longer. I would have made all my transactions and bookings right online even before I arrive at the city. And then when you think of other travel technologies that allows you to immerse yourself in where you're going to through augmented reality or virtual reality.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
If you're going into Obunike Lake, you have an overview of
what it looks like.
What it looks like. So you're connected already to the place. By the time you arrive physically, you point to pointers and say, oh, I saw this there in the virtual reality. So it is so. I had a friend once, Oni, who told me that Sony was actually thinking about investing heavily in VR for countries to take tourism to the next level in terms of you, first of all, if you're coming into Lagos, for instance, at the airport, you walk into Sony stand and have a feel
experience
of what
it.
Lagos is exactly before you come into Lagos, and that makes you connected to the city in that way. So it's such a huge area that we haven't yet understood, and the bottom line is, how do you monetize it? Because it must pay you if you're going to use technology to grow your business at the end.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I'm very encouraged to make sure that people are experiencing what we have here. So that's my question to you. Because you are selling it already, you're selling it absolutely well. Tell us how the rest of us can start to do that.
All right, so who watches KTV here? Who knows what KTV is? Okay, who watches Korean TV movies? Praise the Lord. Oh my God.
Oh, you thought you were the only one?
I don't watch it.
Oh, okay.
But have you learned how to speak Korea when watching those people? Have you learned about their culture? You have, because they are portraying their culture on TV. That is what we are supposed to be doing. Nollywood is doing well with that, and they are, because if I go to Ghana now and they know I'm Nigerian, Akia Popo, oh, I know this person, and they they won't greet me in Igbo. I'm like, wow, you guys have learned. So for us, we need to keep portraying that. I mean, like, the Chinese people speak their languages. They dress themselves. And when you see them, no, this is a Chinese. We need to use our outfits to do that. I mean, we're just wasting our fashion by not even portraying ourselves. Like, if I go anywhere now, when they see me, are you Kenyan or South African? Because they'll see me wear my dress, wear my Adidas shoes, and wonder. So those things really matter. It teaches people about your culture. Just seeing you alone, dressed as you are, from your head to your toe, can tell where you're from, can let people know what you do, and also like let people know that, okay, I like you. I like what you're wearing. Please, where can I get this? Oh, I have this idea. There's a lady in Lagos. Her name is Empire Tribe. She makes this thing. Oh, I want one. Before I know, another person asked me, I want one. Before I know it, I'm sending this same idea to like 4 people in different countries. That alone is portraying tourism. So tourism is not just visiting. It's how we look. And she said something about branding. It's our branding. So you dress this way and people know that, okay, oh, she's African. Where in Africa are you from? Are you West African? Oh, where in Nigeria are you from? Oh, you're Igbo? I'm married to Yoruba. Do you know that alone has let someone know who I am? So for me, when I'm dressing up to represent not just Nigeria, but Africa. So for me, this is branding. The way you dress, the way you carry yourself. And if you can speak your language and teach people once in a while, why not? So that's it. It's a branding thing. And if you watch TV and you watch CNN, you see some countries like India who do their adverts. People are dressing their Indian outfits. They are eating Indian food. Incredible India. It sticks in your head. So for me, if we can do that for Nigeria alone, do you think people will not want to come here? They would. We only show them the bad things.
Yeah, like
we
you
need
said.
to show them
Yeah.
the good things. And it starts with you being a brand, the way you dress, the way you talk, the things you do. So for me, when I was building my brand, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I need to represent what I want to sell. I want to sell Nigeria, Abi. I want to sell Africa. Dress the part. So that's it for me.
So this entertainment, because me, I'm very interested in that part. I'm wondering why our music is played everywhere. It's amazing. But guess what? They just hear this music. And I'm not seeing them being excited to say, let's go to where the music is coming from. Do you know what I mean?
Are we selling it? CM. Oh,
yeah.
Lord. We have the music, we have the culture, we have everything. How are we selling it? So it's not just also dressing the part. You have to also be able to, even you as an individual, are you selling Nigeria? We ourselves are afraid to allow our friends to come to Nigeria, are we not? Your friend is coming from the north. Lagos, if you come, don't go to Yaba. If you go to Yaba, that corner there, they will hide you. So even you dressing, how are you selling your country? Are you saying the good things? So yes, they like our songs, like everything, but we're not even telling them, come to Nigeria, come to Lagos, I'll take you around. We have this tour, we have that tour. So it's not just dressing, it's also inviting people. So we now have Nollywood, right? They're doing these things. People want to come to Nigeria. See, people want to come to Nigeria, Funke, but there's no package out there. Let me give an example. When I first started, I did blog posts about different tour operators. I reached out to them individually and I did an interview and all that. I put it on my blog, right? 2 years later, I had a guy send me an email from my website, from my blog, said, hello, hi, I'm from the Americans. I'm a Black American. I've been looking to come to Nigeria for a long time. I traced my route to Nigeria. But for almost 2 years, I've not been able to find a reliable tour operator. Wow. So I went to Google, and your website came up, and I saw the different tour operators you interviewed. Please, who of all these people can you recommend so I can come to Nigeria? I was like, wow. All right, so I replied the guy, connected him to one of our tour operators. This guy buzzed me February 2019. By November 2019, this guy was in Nigeria. He toured some places, put it on social media, was really shouting, Nigeria, you guys have so much. Why are you guys not telling people? I'm gonna bring my black people here. We're gonna come and protest. And my mom was like, aha. That's how it starts. So the truth is that they want to come. What do we have packaged for them? India. You think they're not poor in India, they don't have wild, I think they're not cleaning themselves. But they're packaging themselves so well that people want to come. We see their Indian movies. Who watches Bollywood? Oh, what's the thing Bollywood called again? Z World.
Z-World.
People watch Z World. I said, okay, I want to go to India. You think they don't have somebody already packaging tours for them? If you check with some of these stations, they have tour operators they're working with. If people reach out to them, connect with this person, make our money, sell our country. We need to do that. That's where that branding thing comes. And I like what she said. The colors, the dresses, everything about us really matters. So it's not just being out there. What do we have to offer these people that will make them come?
Can I chip in a
Yes,
bit
please.
before we round up? For me, because this is what I have done, this is the only thing I live on, tourism. But I still think the government needs a big part to play in this. And I'll say this from the entertainment industry. I think the 4 of my favorite movies of all time has been centered around Nigeria. Bruce Willis' Tears of the Sun. The whole storyline was about Abacha and them coming to rescue female American doctor and a priest in Nigeria. The biggest of them all was Wakanda. The storyline too was about Chibok girls. There's Captain America, the Marvel comic. It was about civil war in Nigeria. And you know the annoying thing, not 1 minute of any of
Was
those
done here.
was shown in Nigeria. And when you look at the James Bond movies, like a brand, everywhere they shoot James Bond movie, look at the end of their roll call in Turkey, in Rome, in Morocco, in Egypt. And we are making a huge loss not using our industry. I am sick and tired of, anytime they put up Kanayo's face, we know what's going down. It's ritual.
Yeah.
For crying out loud. It shouldn't be that. We should start using our story. When they shot the movie The CEO by Kunle Afolayan, a lot of people didn't even know that was in Nagbe. So I think it is high time, and thank God for COVID. Because when the new video of one of these P-Square, the pizza was shot recently, this new video, it was shot at La Manga Beach because they couldn't travel. Now people should start looking inwards. When you do a movie now, put somewhere in Clara Beach. On the hills of Obudu. I saw a picture yesterday. It was a wedding destination in front of the river, and it was in Ilorin. They put a marquee there, roses, and you could tell this is Maldives, and it is in Ilorin, not even in Lagos. People are now looking at wedding destinations in Lagos. You don't need to use a hall anymore. Come to La Campagne, come to Whispering Palms, and take lovely, pictures that you can tell your son tomorrow. We did it in Dubai. And that was lying. It was in Lagos. So until we start using the entertainment industry, look at the Burna Boys then. And I think since Lagos State is here, I think I'm going to say some of these things. That for these young folks, they should make them brand ambassadors of Lagos.
Oh, that's so true.
When Burna Boy won the award, I was so glad. He did his video shoot for the Grammy at our iconic National Theatre. So when you start seeing things like this, it's either we pay them, we use what we have instead of selling other countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Do we have time to take questions from? Okay. Yes, please. Can you give her a mic? Can you give her a mic, please? Thank you.
I just need to say this. Now that I am in this space, I can understand that the things I want to say. You know what? The public, the citizens, they don't trust government. We are just building the trust. So the onus is on you that they trust to engage with them. We've engaged with some of them to come and be our brand ambassadors for Lagos State. Mba. No.
Wow.
Do you understand? Number one, NSAS. Number two, they don't want to be seen that government is bribing them.
Let them bribe us. We sell Lagos State every day. I'll take the money because I've been selling Lagos for the last 10 years.
No, they don't. Because immediately they start working with us, they become compromised not to say anything against us. Not to say anything against us. And so they would rather go to 7-Up and this and, to private sector to be their brand ambassadors. And that's one of the pushbacks that we're getting. And so we are relying on you, on all of you in that space, do you understand, to help, to sell, to engage with them, to let them know, to let them understand that this is what, we are the only ones who can help ourselves. I was in a shop the other day in UK, and I was listening, I'd even forgotten myself, it was a Boots. And I was listening to Asha, and I was just bobbing my head, and then I just said, I'm in London, okay? do you understand? There was a wedding that's trending. There's a wedding that's trending now. Nigerians, as a nation, we are influencers to the world. There was a wedding, white wedding, white. They were spraying. You know that machine that they used to spray? The machine. It was not even using hand. They were using machine to be spraying, and they were singing. It was one of the Nigerian artists' songs. And they were all, their dance was, a bit like Lagbaja saying. But they were dancing. It was Nigerian music at a white wedding. And have you seen all of these white ladies trending with their men eating eba? There was one woman, she was actually speaking Igbo with her children. Do you understand? So naturally, we are influencers. Without even having to now we just need to be more deliberate for our target audience, for the markets that we want. We just need to become more deliberate. But we can't do it. The government now, they don't trust us enough. There's no confidence. There's nothing. Do you understand? People still see God until we are able to bridge that gap. Just as we started bridging its NSTAR scheme. We had a show, Echo on show, right? It was a struggle to get the artists to come. We were paying them. It's not that we're not paying them, and they're not cheap, but it was a struggle. And what were they saying? NSAS is coming to the first year anniversary. If we're here, you see, we were trying to, they totally, you know when you don't think about something. We were trying to say, you know, it's Nigerian independence, you know, it's celebration, let's key into that. We didn't think of that. And then some of the artists started saying, that means that in their space, they're talking about NSAS.
True.
And they don't want to be involved so that they're not compromised, because the people then, their followers will start seeing them as, oh, government is already inviting you. You are now romancing government. You will not be able to talk. You will not be able to, you understand? We didn't even bother to touch files with a badge pole. You understand? We didn't even bother because we knew already there are certain people that whether there was NSAS or there was no NSAS, they were just anti-government. So we wouldn't go there. It was no longer about entertainment for them. It has become a personal conversation for them.
Yeah.
And so we are really, really, and that's why we're having, when they see us, you're doing something. That's what Goge Africa did. Yeah. Right? Goge Africa was not marketing themselves. They were in a roundabout way marketing Lagos waterways. Yes. But we said, you know what, you be the face. Say we're partnering with you. So that you are the one. So if you say your whatever toll you have, and you say you are the face, you're partnering with Lagos State, but you are the one inviting that person. You are the one engaging that person. But Lagos State is also a partner.
Yeah.
Why? Why are they partners? Because we are in the States. They are our host state. You understand? There's so many reasons that you can use that they don't have to know the high level information. Those are the kind of things that we're trying to do. Yes, of course. We've been doing that. Ume, have we not? That's how we do. That's why we say we partner. You see, when we partner, we might not be able to give you money at all times. Do you understand? We're government. It's taxpayers' money. However, we have a calendar. We have a calendar. And say this your event is going to be here. That's what is called institutional support. So we can support you institutionally, put you in our calendar of events. By the time we put you, we're distributing that calendar. Everybody knows about your event. Do you understand? There are certain things. Oh, we can give you a letter of endorsement when we know the quality of what you want to do. And we know the credibility that is behind your organization or your company. Then we'll give you letters of endorsement, which you can take to your sponsors and say, look, Lagos State is endorsing it. It's supporting us by endorsing this, and they have confidence in us that we will deliver. And then they will give you sponsorship, the private organizations. Those are some of the things that we do. You can call us to come and talk there. Do you understand? So that they can see the face of the government at your event, just like we're doing here. But you can't work with us at a distance or from a distance. You have to come and engage with us. That's, oh, they said. That's what you hear.
It's perception.
But that's what we're saying. Now you've become an advocate. That it's not government, stay your own. That's one of the reasons why you're here. That's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation. Do you understand? So you try and you will see. At least I've mentioned 2 people now. There's Goge Africa. There's quite a lot of them. Akwaba, we throw our face at Uyo, just all of these things that we do. Just to let them know that we are open to having collaborative efforts with the private organizations, private sectors, and all of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. It's always good when we have the other side of the story. Because if they were not here, we would have just been bashing government. Okay, Ma.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to add to what my peers have said, maybe because you have never reached out to government, the organizers of this show reached out to us. Mr. Balogun brought them to my office. He knows me. He knows my commissioner. I said, okay, let me get the whole ministry involved. Go and do a letter to the PAMSEC and to the commission, because they are both women. So when you reach out to us, definitely we'll be part of it. This is the first time I'm attending any of their events, and this is the first time they reached out. And then we say to our stakeholders, are you registered under the association? We deal with associations like Xtrm. There you have the tour operators, you have travel agencies, you have the boat people. So if you're registered with them as a tour operator, we will deal with you one way or the other. No, I said travel agencies. I said boats. Even venue owners. You know, so we feel more comfortable when we are dealing with you as an association, not as individuals. Though we deal with some individuals as well. The Akwaba organizer, Mr. Ikechiuko, we deal with him as a member of EFTAN, and then as somebody who has done so much for tourism, exactly. Ask him, we've been partnering for the past 5 years. So don't sit there and say government is not. You reach out to us, and we are always there for you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think we need to balance the issues here. I've heard a lot, and it just shows our enthusiasm. My sister first said, government has to be intentional. She said so. I heard you. Now, I was going to ask, Nana, how do you make money? I was going to ask you, how do you make money? Now, when we start asking these questions, we don't want charlatans around the industry who just have fun. It's good. Now, with all the things we're talking about, virtual reality, all of that, very good. 15 years ago, when they are sending you a tour package, they will put the pictures. Waka now began it. Now it's been made easy for everybody. But tourism works through channels. The moment those channels are not established, it's all fun we are going to have. And so we have people who are short-lived in the industry. 1 year, 2 years, they're tired. And you won't find them anymore. Because they didn't understand how to engage. I can remember when I and Ikechi were in WTM 12 years ago, 15 years ago. Is he adding up? We'll be asking. They're asking, is he adding up? Now, is he not adding up today? Now, you just give an example about how you placed some names on your website. I'm not sure they paid you, but you got them business. That did that. Beautiful. So that's because there was a channel for you to put that through. Now, we have this Tojum is doing Idere Hill. The other day I had to call him and say, Tojum, come. Do you have an agreement with the landowners? I said, Tojum, you're about to blow Idere Hill. That's an individual. Now, who's doing that? But there has to be a connection to economy. Yes. So, Tojum, I know what you're doing, but come. The moment it blows, they will kick you out. Yeah. Now, Madam is very correct. We have bad governance. It's affecting us, but let's not go there. And she's even telling you that we are afraid to go so that they don't identify us, so that they don't spoil our business. That is a reality. But you know what? We're not making it a business. When we had, I think, Akwaba of 2019, Akwaba of 2016, we brought young tour operators. There were young CEOs. And if you're a CEO, then you have to establish how you get paid. So we're not talking about fun. The fun is okay. Now, Michael is talking authoritatively because he's been in the industry. He's a tour operator. So you can hear the way he is speaking. All you need to do, you talk about branding. There are too many things to do about the industry. Too many things. But we're not consistent. We're not business oriented. We're just hovering around the place and thinking not working. No. It's working. But let us understand. We know the role government should play. They're not playing it. Our music is everywhere. We're not connecting it to the destination. Mm-hmm. There's no connection. And those connections are because we also are not, okay, I'm a tour operator. Maybe Obudu can cross river and all of that. 48 hours in Calabar, 48 hours in Abuja, that's a product. But how many people know about it? So we have to be a bit deliberate. Yeah. And we have charlatans who will show up only to play association, but they have no business. Exactly. I have a guy who is setting up Rabon. He's president of Rabon, restaurant and whatever. He doesn't own one restaurant. And he's playing tourism politics. And I'm like, what's all this? What do you do? And so when this happens, you're going to have associations that are not bearing to the industry. Now, can you be in this hall? They're now telling us that women are the tea that hospital, that they run the hospital. That's not even the issue. The issue is that will you be in this hall if you're not a woman who's working in the society industry? What are you doing here? Because this is what this is all about. They are being empowered at this level. And we're now talking about statistics. So if you're low the wrong, what do I do to climb? And we're now checking. So we check statistics. And so we get to a point we now have major trains in our country run by 10 women. Then you can look for money to fund what you want to do. There's mentorship in your program, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do you mentor the rest? So it's a process. Okay, so we have basic problems. We're talking about NTDC. Because of that, and we're being funny about it. We're thinking it's about individuals. No, it's not about individuals. That organization is illegal. As far as the 2013 court judgment is concerned, it's illegal. What are we talking about? And we're getting there. So this is what we are saying. So there's a process to it. My young people, tourism must walk through channels. No matter how you're branding it, there has to be people on ground to take off those things. Without those things, it's not going to work. And when we get tired of moving around without anything entering our pockets, the other ones will clear off. Only the hospitality people will stand. The people that own the hotels. And you cannot move the hotel from Lagos to Abuja. They are only in one small location. You are the guys who are, for the first time, okay, a tour operator becoming president of the association. I'm saying, come, it's a different thing. Because they always thought you don't have money to run associations. You couldn't work it out. So the issue is this. Let's understand the channels, one. Let those who are running this business stay a bit on time, on course for the profession, develop it. Where is Wonu? Is Wonu not making money? You know Wonu? Is Wonu not making money? She stayed on that industry, isn't it? And for 3, 4, 5 years, you would want to say she's making money. She is. So if you're now doing virtual, if you're doing IT, how do I make money from here? You have to put that together so that you don't tire out, because you must pay your bills. Yeah. So, and that's when we can now say we have a profession or something. See what they did. We did that in Cross River 17 years ago, training drivers. That training for drivers because they're the first contacts. And then they see those days we bought vehicles for them at the airport, government, but through private sector. But at the point they threw it all off. So nobody can build a profession as a tour operator. You can't build a profession as maybe how do I call it? Just taking people around. You can't be. I know of a lady who would wait at a co-hotel, take every of the foreigners to Oshodi Market. She was there every Saturday. It was a big business. But she's not in the UK because she couldn't pull it through. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very glad that our PAMSEC is here, and I like action because I think we always talk about a lot of things that we keep talking about all the time. And just like somebody online has said, Madam, how are you accessible? Because for me, anything government is either you know somebody that knows somebody before you can get there, and then, like the PAMSEC has said, it's like we have sort of like lost trust. My question is, I'm even glad the Xtrm president is here because recently when they were doing the Xtrm election, when I saw the objective of Xtrm, I said, hey, this is their objective. I didn't know exactly where we are so far. And the Xtrm president just said now that, we are in a process. We are supposed to be more than 60 years now. I guess the process is still going on. And I want to just ask the PAMSEC, since she says she's accessible, I know that I do not know anybody in the ministry or Alawusa or whatever. My own is action. Is it possible, even if it's your secretary, I can get her number before I leave here? Because she has said she's somebody that is approachable, so that all of us that are working with women, I want to do all sorts of things and progress. Because I've said that for me, I wouldn't say that the men have failed us, but women are the future now, so that let us keep the house in order. Because the plane cannot fly with one wing. It's women and men together. So mine is comment and also to appeal to the PAMSEC that please, is there anything? I think we need some clarity to be able to understand that further, because even when the PAMSEC was talking about the registration of hotels, from years back, we have always known that they were supposed to be involved with that as well. So I think there's a need for clarity so that we don't take the wrong information out from here. Thank you.
Yeah, in 2013, there was a Supreme Court judgment that said belongs to this. That is on the residual list, so it cannot be a national government phenomenon. And you heard Professor Wasi who says the name tourism is not even in the constitution, it's mentioned in local government area. Now, you also now notice that you have Ministry of Information and just a department. Just a department in that ministry. Are we together? And I used to be president of tour operators in Nigeria for years. I would say, give us our ministry. Those were the things I say, we must give us our ministry. And I'm still saying it today. That even though you say legally we are on the residual list, if we had a ministry, we would have more attention. Okay, so based on that, and if NTDC was established as a marketer, a marketing company for Nigeria, for the whole country, and we're now saying that tourism resides with the states, it also means that, what she said here was that if I were there, I will try the issue of identity. You just heard him. Yeah. Okay? I would now identify with the 6 state commissioners and try to bring them together. He said, look, I've seen this law and work together for the sake of this office. Now, you had years back that NTDC tried to close some hotels. And they said, no, nobody gave you such power. There was a case now between Lagos State and NTDC. Lagos State won that case to the Supreme Court. Now, what that now means is that with that case, that court judgment, Lagos State might not answer anybody who calls them. You can't go into Lagos State and tell them that you want to come and collect money in their state. They'll tell you, where are you coming from? Now, you already heard the issue of the VAT. We've heard the VAT controversy. Now, that's how it began. So if there's a Supreme Court judgment that says states are the ones to collect, what will you do? You won't go anywhere, isn't it? So that's why we're saying that we need to amend and then talk together to find out how do we make these bodies work. There used to be what we call Presidential Council on Tourism. And now that was because there are several ministries involved in tourism. Now, what was it all about? You had Ministry of Environment, you had Federal Ministry of Finance. All of them together had to do with tourism. So the president of the country, was in Obasanjo's time, used to be the president of PCT, so that he can harmonize everything that has to do with tourism. That is not functioning today. So that's why tourism looks like an orphan. Now, NTDC cannot effect anything in the states authoritatively, but they're just around there to persuasively act with them. And so we can definitely say that, okay, this body that is not backed up by law, certain things can happen, but they are still there, and the Nigerians who work there. So all we are saying is that there's a way to go about it. Let there be collaborations. You can now talk to the 36 commissioners, put them together, and begin to drive tourism. That's exactly what we're not talking about the fact that we are the ones who made it illegal or something. No. It is because of that judgment, it has affected its status. And so that's why the states are behaving the way they are behaving, because they know it's their rights. So states don't dovetail to anything federal government when it comes to tourism or whatever. They are on their own to act with the local governments and all of that. So that's why we make that statement. It's not meant for us to put down anybody, because there are still Nigerians who work there. There's a DG who works there as well, who's been appointed. You get what I mean? So that's why we're saying that. That's why you can't, if you wake up now and tell Lagos State say he wants to collect tax from hotels. You know what I mean? They know that there will be some issues. So what do they do? They negotiate. There's an organization that picketed somewhere here for, what do they call it now? Is it MCVR? What do they call it? And they just sued Hilton now for $1 billion. So you're supposed to pay those things to the hotels. And if you're not paying, you can't, there's a law to it. So these laws are there to guide us, and we need to know which one to apply, which ones will not apply. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This has been a very, very interesting and